welcome to my channel. Well, we have another fantastic knife sent to me by Toby and family. And this is the Joker Nessmuk. I'll tell you a little bit about the Nessmuk knife, but I want to show you something that I did. This knife was not... There's a certain way this knife will go into the sheath. Like following that bottom side, and I put the knife in like towards the top side, and guess what it did? It sliced the sheath right open. So, I mean, partially that's my fault. You see how it's coming through like that? But I think the design of the sheath was bad, because you should be able to stick your knife, you know, an open top knife like this in the sheath without cutting something, you know. But that's the way it wants to do, unless you get it in there exactly perfectly on the bottom. You gotta start your blade down there basically, and this is what happens if you don't. Now, I can fix this, you know, I can glue it together and stuff, but the potential is it's going to happen again. Other than that, I mean, this is the first time I've ever stuck a knife in a sheath and sliced the sheath open. You know, it's like, whoa. But anyways, what we have here is a beautiful knife. Now, I'd seen this pattern before, but I didn't really know a whole lot about it. And it comes from a guy named George Washington Sears. He was born in 1821 and died in 1890. And he was taught by a Native American whose name was Nessmuk. He was taught some bushcraft skills. And Sears was not a big guy. At age 59, he was 5 foot tall and 105 pounds. But he had a problem with pneumonia or something like that. But he loved the outdoors. He thought it was therapeutic, and he wanted to develop. He had basically 3 tools he would have. He would have his Nessmuk knife, a moose pattern pocket knife, and a double bit axe, you know, or hatchet. And these are the 3 main things that he would use. And this was mainly for skinning. Now, this one has a sandy grind, and as you can see, it's sharp as hell. It cut through that leather with like no effort. It felt like I was just seating the knife normally, but it was slicing right through the leather. When skinning, I've heard that when you start your initial cut, you want to separate the hide. You know, you're separating the hide from the muscle. So you don't want to be point down pushing, because you can tear open, you know, the intestines and the bladder and all that stuff that you don't want to do. So you start your cut, and then this little hump acts like a little thing to allow you to just zip the hide open, from what I've read. I haven't skinned with this thing, but it's primarily a skinner, but it can be used, you know, for a lot of different things. You've got this natural little ramp up here, George Sears didn't like Bowie knives. He'd rather have a hatchet or an axe. And so this thing can kind of do a little bit of chopping, but that's not what it was intended for him. Now, some people are, you know, just don't like the design, and other people are saying if you've ever had to skin an animal, you would like this design because of the ergonomics, the way it works and everything, and the features. So people are kind of like torn, but this one comes in Sandvik 14C28N, which I read is a steel equivalent. Closest to it is Aus 8. And this is a birch handle. Really looks nice. This whole knife is really great. You know, it comes with this already pre-tied little lanyard here. Let's see if you can do it. I think this one's long enough. Let's see. You have the blade face. I'm trying to do the way I read. No, it needs to be a little bit longer for that wrap around your hand that way type thing. If you get the lanyard long enough, you can have the loop going through here and coming around and basically, you know, supporting your hand while you're chopping and stuff. But yes, it's a great knife. I mean, I really like it. It looks great. These are like brass pins here. It's hard to tell, but it's like a gold instead of silver. It's got nice liners in it. Everything on this thing is smooth. It feels really great in the hand. So yeah, if you get one of these, just watch how you put it in your sheath. Because, well, now I got an extra drain hole besides here. I can drain this way too. Yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out some way of making sure that this thing goes in there. I mean, now I know, you know, you just push down like this all the way and make sure it slides. No, see, it did it again. There's really like a sweet spot way of putting this knife in the sheath. And I haven't found it yet. One way you get it in, it goes in fine, and the other way, there we go. Yeah, it looks like the center line of the blade has to go over to the right. Which nobody tells you, you know. I mean, you know, you got to put a knife in the sheath, and I guess if you go up towards the center, it's going to ride that and cut. And see, that's what I thought I was just meeting the resistance of this center bolster thing. Anyways, that's my first leather sheath that I cut from sticking it in there, and in a way it's my fault. But in another way, I think it's the way they designed the sheath. Maybe they made it too tight when they put it in, or should have had some kind of guide. I don't know. It goes right in when you do it correctly. But you really have to have that tip going down instead of center line. If you put it towards the center, then you're going to open up the side of your sheath. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that happened. You know, I didn't intend to do that. It's got a nice... Now, this is the way I like to see danglers, with the little snap on it there, where you can... This is like a leather belt keeper. I was thinking about, you know, police have these on their duty belts a lot. And I was thinking about getting one of those for a dangler, but now this one works. I'm going to see if another one of my knife sheaths would fit this. But I'm still going to try to fix this one. It's just, it'll probably happen again. Even if I glue it. But there you go. Yeah. Sorry to wipe out a knife sheath in the process. Over here it says the design. J. Sabater. Fairly thick on the spine here. Let me check it with the calipers. 0.15 or almost 4 millimeter. So it's a heavy duty little knife. You could do some chopping with it. We've got a blade length of 4¼ inch cutting edge and about 4½ inch blade. Nice thick blade there. And I don't think we need to demonstrate how sharp it is since it's already cut open leather, but yeah, it's a Scandi grind, so it's going to come right down to a point. Looks like it could use a little stropping on it. But yeah, thank you, Toby and family, for another excellent knife. And thank you for watching, and have a good day.